Last time we talked to Real Talk Fridays about hope versus expecting, things like that. To this day, that topic is pretty intense. Let's go ahead and count down really quick. Start it off. Damn right.
10, 9,
8,
8,
7,
7,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2, 1.
0,
Cool.
1.
2, 3, 4.
Just to be that guy.
Alright.
So,
Alright, so, yeah. Last time's topic was hope versus expectations. And to this day, that rings true. I'm constantly having to deal with that. I'm not even going to get on that topic because it's just it's exhausting. It's exhausting. It really is.
well, we could, and plus we already did it. You know what we could do? Because I know you could go on that topic for days. You know what we could do is, I don't know if this would be a bad topic to talk about. Would be like
Spit
women,
it.
how they act right now, like how they're so, they're just whores.
Let me-
Put it that-
Let me put it like this for you. I'm going to read something that I wrote last night. And it's kind of long, but here's where we start. What up, everybody? This is Weapon Gaming here. We're bringing you a Real Talk commentary. It's going to be uploaded on Friday. We're recording it right now on, what is today? Wednesday? It's Tuesday.
Yep.
So,
Tuesday. Fail.
Yep. So, yeah, that's that. We're going with it. We're going with it. This is In Shadow.
This is Captain Paul.
And
Chilling.
we're getting our munch on right now. We got a little bit of dinner going on. We got some Mountain Dew with some Dr. Pepper, all that good stuff. So peep it. This is what I was writing yesterday. It's a topic about women. Paul suggested this topic, and I thought, hey, cool. You know, I'm already kind of typing about that. I mean, us men, we always got something to complain about, right? So peep this. Independence is often a turnoff for men. In our society, an independent woman poses a threat to the lazy minds of lustful men. But before you try to understand that statement, let me backtrack a little bit into further detail. Men who crave sex are quite lazy when it comes to emotional understanding or expression. They're usually very selfish, not just in their romantic relationships, but also in friendships with people, friendships with other guys or with women.
I'm not that bad.
Let me continue. Come in. Nope, I'm doing the commentary.
And
Alright.
we keep rolling.
You want some more potatoes and soup? Okay, a lazy man harbors a brilliant mind. It's a quote that rings true, but as with all of the other examples that men give through their different kinds of laziness, the brilliance is played on by the laziness and subconsciously utilized to get the man what he wants. In this case, sex. It is the subconscious mind of a lazy man that actually does the opposite of being lazy. It uses brilliance as its method of work. And it uses that brilliance to get whatever the man wants for the man. Of course, you know, it's like a parasitic worm feeding off of the man's desires, I guess you could say. So, in short, men of this society don't want to have to try when it comes to love. Much like a lazy dog, they just want to sit around until something exciting is placed in front of them so that they can finally indulge in it. They just don't go out and make their own happiness. So, to get back on the topic, when displayed by a woman in regular just dependence, dependency on somebody else, is observed by a man as an opportunity. His mind, not necessarily the person that he is, but his mind, sees two options. Number one, be the support she can rely on in order to receive fulfillment of desires in return. Or two, receive fulfillment of desires without having to put forth much effort into the relationship or into fully satisfying her emotional needs. In other words, number one, he can be really selfish and try to pretend to be there for her just so that he can get what he wants. Number two is that he can actually be there for her but not really try. You know, it's like he's only there for her if he gets his desires fulfilled. So, with that in mind, the latter is the more preferable, or the lesser of the two evils, because neither of them are really desirable. But when independence is displayed by a woman, a man is turned off by a lack of necessity for his presence, by her lack of necessity for his presence. So, for example, if a woman is independent, it's like, I don't need you. So he's like, okay, well, if she's not going to be all needy and everything and, like, give me what I want, then I don't want that. That's a turn off. You see what I mean? So a lazy man may stay away from this type of woman, but a strong man or a man of integrity, ambition, you could say, realizes that this type of woman is unlike most women in society. And I go on to write some more things about this whole topic, and it gets kind of confusing and kind of in depth. But the whole point is, independent women with standards and moral values of their own are a turnoff for men, because men want to be in control, in a very lazy control of
Damn straight.
relationships.
Damn fucking straight. I agree
So
with
what is your thought on that? Like, Paul, when you see this going on in society, when you see a lazy kind of guy, you know, somebody that just wants what he wants and does whatever he can to get it, but doesn't really care much for the heart of the other person. I mean, how does that strike you? You know,
Well,
just elaborate.
assuming since I'm one of those people, I just don't really care. But but seriously, I don't know. It just seems like if you don't really have a desire, if you're not really a work ethic, or if you're just lazy in general, you're never really gonna go far in life, and that goes in any aspect in life: work, school,
Right.
love. So it's just, I don't know. Necessarily, I don't think it's a bad thing that women are being more independent. And I know this might be going a little off topic, but the only problem I have is when they. Now, I'm not insulting the women. I'm just saying when they become kind of like, how would I say this, hard asses or kind of bitches. But besides that, I think generally that today's society with men was just very lazy and usually just looking for like a quick fix. You know what I'm saying? Just like
Right.
one night stand and that type of deal.
Right. And it's almost like nobody wants commitment. They go into things for any purpose that has to do with themselves. It's never a purpose that has to do with the other person, or I should say it's rarely a purpose that has to do with the other person. It is, for the purpose of self-enjoying, or self-enjoyment, I guess you could say, self-fulfillment of whatever, the desire is, and it's really selfish. Now, of course, I'm really just griping out men here, but women do the same kind of thing. It's just, it's sort of different. They hide it a lot better, you could say. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, now are you trying to say that women are kind of are they basically lazy in a relationship as well, or are you saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that a lot of women do things for the sake of themselves or for the sake
Oh,
of their appearance or something like that. I mean, some women will choose to date somebody or to I don't know, to flirt with somebody or something like that for the sake of getting acknowledgement or getting reputation or something like that, so that
Or
amongst
slapped.
other what?
Or slapped?
This
Chris
conversation's going nowhere, isn't it?
No, but seriously, no, I agree with you. Whereas if, for example, I know, how would I put this? 'Cause I don't want to say names, but I know this girl that in high school that she basically used people just to make herself look better. Like she wanted people to like feel needy towards her and whatnot.
Right.
But she would treat them like shit. She would cheat on them, and it's just like I don't know. Like I feel
You know what
like
the sad part is? People like that, you think, okay, their actions speak for themselves. So when they're like that, everybody knows that they're like that and doesn't want anything to do with them. But it's
Right.
wrong. Everybody still wants them. And it's like, why the hell are you paying attention to that? That's not the kind of person you need to be desiring. That's like not the kind of person you want to be around.
Well, you know why though? It's just because today's society. Like, I'm just gonna like call ball, strike is. Look what's on TV, look what's in the movies, and like look at just at how us as like United States in general, like even in different countries, just look how like we're supposed to be portrayed as like treating each other as human beings. For example, and I know this is famous, but Jersey Shore, they sleep with every other guy or woman. Or, if you watch these movies, you see these guys or these girls, like, sleeping with a ton of people. It seems like when we're younger, like, certain people, because maybe this even goes into bad parenting, which I think has happened in this generation,
Oh, yeah.
is that you have these kids that are growing up with this, they think this is acceptable. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
seeing this in movies, and they're seeing this, and I'm not giving them a way out. I'm not giving them an excuse. But they're enabled to go that way. And, think about how many parents these days are divorced. Let's just be honest with you.
The divorce rate's over 50% in the U.S. alone. And that's...
Yeah. It's purely ridiculous because people don't know when to stick with it. The reason is, like, our society has changed. I could get into this whole conversation about religion and why
Well, see,
people...
you're completely right, too. You're completely right. People grow up with this attitude. They grow up with this idea. They grow up with this... being taught that, like, for example, I'll refer to this in an indirect way, independence is the way to go. People want you to move out, be on your own at a young age, get your own job, get your own place, get your own girlfriend, get your own kids, all that kind of stuff. and they want you to do this all right away. They want it to be as quickly and as early as possible.
Right.
And they push you. The whole social attitude is, get you in that direction. I mean, when you're 16, you're expected to have a car. When you're 18, you're expected to move out. Like, what is that? Come on. It's just.
No, I don't, and I completely fucking agree. It's just, I feel as if parents of this generation, of our generation, because I know we're 21, 20, but like even a little lower than that. That's only a few year differences. Is that generation of parents? Let's be honest with you. They believe like the way they did the stuff, and like earlier on, they were out of the house, they were gone, all that good shit, and I think they forget. Like their childhood and that stuff, and like how it was growing up, because I kind of laugh when parents say like, "Oh, when I was your age, I was doing this, owning a car, this," and then when you find out from your grandparents or from somebody else or from their, you know what I'm saying, from
right.
It's from their parents, it's like, no, he wasn't. He was living at home at fucking 22. It's like. To me, it's like it seems like parents try to glorify themselves these days to something that they are not. Listen,
and even that, when you're a kid, you don't understand that you don't understand glorification. It's like when you're growing up learning that Santa Claus is real. You know how devastated you are when you're 12 and you learn that your parents have lied to you for that long of a time? You learn to not even trust your parents. You learn to hate your parents. You learn that religion is bullshit because everything they've ever taught you has got to be wrong. And
right. people
press this on you, and they explain to everybody else that you should do this, you should lie to your kids, and all that kind of shit. It's funny. The old pastor of my old church, when I was 8 years old, told his daughter that Santa Claus existed. When she turned 11, he and his wife told her that there was no Santa Claus. And the first thing she said was, "Well, is Jesus real?" He's the pastor of a Lutheran church, and he lied to his daughter that long. And her first concern was whether Jesus was real. Yeah. Because she had been lied to about Santa Claus, somebody that she was, taught to love. I mean, think about how wrong that is. If you're taught to love Santa Claus and you're taught to love Jesus, and Santa Claus turns out to be a lie, oh, but Jesus is true, what kid is going to believe that?
No, like, the thing is with me, it's like, I can get maybe, like, telling your kids and, like, maybe he's, like, this magical person coming in and stuff. Like, I can maybe see that, but it's just, I never really got the whole thing behind the holiday. This holiday's kind of gotten out of whack, and I know we're kind of going in a different conversation, but it just seems like today people's like, look, nobody believes in religion anymore, Dylan. Let's just be honest with each other. Barely. There's a lot of atheists now. Like, oh well, fuck God. There's no God. It's like it was evolution, or if it was Big Bang. And I don't want to get into a fucking religious debate on here on our channel.
Well,
but
right.
I'm just saying is that I believe since there isn't that much faith anymore. Like kids growing up not believing in God and making fun of fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. Like I knew people that would be, oh, who's that guy on the cross? What an asshole! Like seriously, just plain ignorance. If you can't tolerate religion, then just don't say it. You know what I mean? Just keep it to yourself. That is fine. But I'm just saying.
Here's an interesting concept, though. I've noticed the opposite. I've noticed an increase in faith, and I should say, in the 90s and when I was growing up, and even throughout the 2000s, especially about 5 years ago or so. No, 7 years ago. It was 2005. I was noticing that almost everybody was fake. Tradition had become taboo, you could say. It was like, why are we doing this? What's the purpose? Wow, I look weird. I wonder what my friends are going to think of me. And basically nobody really had faith. Even people that went to church didn't even really believe in God. They just went because, oh, well, I figure I'm supposed to because I call myself a Christian. The thing is, I've noticed an increase lately in real faith. People are starting to realize, wow, I've really been fucking up. I've been having this wrong idea about what church means and what God means and all this kind of stuff. And I see an increase in faith. I see people coming to the realization that the faith that they once understood was weak, it was feeble, it was pathetic, it was not real faith at all. And they're actually realizing now what it is and what it means to be Christian and all that kind of stuff. And like you said, I don't want to get into a religious debate. Go on.
Now, do you mean in our generation? Because I don't know. Maybe it's just around near me.
Well, it's not just our generation. It's like I think the generation before us is where it starts, and then our generation picks up on it. Well, I should say the generation ahead of us picks up on it first because they're the younger ones and they're in the presence of the older generation. The older generation is their parents. But then we are the middle generation, and we are picking up on it second. You know, we're the second ones to see it because we see it in the kids and then we see it in the adults and things like that.
Right.
Since our generation is considered, you know, independent because every other generation is connected to each other, but every other generation that is skipped is, of course, connected to a different generation entirely. So you got,
Right.
you know, it's like interlocking pieces. Like, interlock your fingers, you know?
It's like
Each
a
finger
fuck-
belongs to one hand.
It's like a damn Rubik's cube. Okay, I'm sorry, just can't
It
even
is.
talk right now. No, it's just I don't know. This is kind of like I'm gonna try to come full circle with this since we started about women. I don't know. That's why
Women are to blame. No, I'm joking.
God damn it, dude. We just lost 5 subs. No, but seriously, women, like, I just feel as if since they don't have, like, faith, or if they don't have this stable, not even faith, they just don't have this stable core values, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like 18, even high school kids to college. And,
I mean, the sad thing is, though, guys don't either. You know? I mean, like,
oh, yeah.
I know a
agree.
lot of guys are pressured into it by their peers, but a lot of other guys are pressured into it by their fathers. That's a big, you know, big problem in society today because their fathers want them to be playboys. Their fathers want them to be, you know, hooking up and all that kind of stuff and getting the women and all that. I mean, it's, you know, it's a pride thing and it's natural, but it's gotten to a ridiculous point where, like, now, I mean, guys that aren't even in the direction to act that way will if treated by their closest friends or family in such a way. You know, if they're told to go get pussy and shit like that, then they're gonna go try to do it. You know, it's just, it instills it in their mind that that's the way to live.
Right, and you know, I just feel as if, and I might be repeating myself, the moral fiber as us as human beings have just have disintegrated because you have these children. Like, I'm serious. You have these children like, oh, like, you know, when I get older, like, oh, you're gonna have a wife. Like, I'm obviously when you're a kid, you're not thinking that, but like they'll be
Yeah,
like,
when
no.
when you're a kid, girls are icky.
I know, but I'm saying like when you're like when I say kid, like high school, it's like no, I want to sleep around and stuff.
Oh, right.
It's
right.
like it's completely childish. It really is childish, and it just shows that you have an immature personality that needs to compensate for something. It's just I don't understand why even like girls, guys, it goes universal. Why these scumbag people?
Well, see,
keep-
when they're young, they're experiencing desire for the first time. You know, we experience our peak of desire at that age, and that's amplified by the peer pressure and by the people around us. And, for example, what's the big deal with drinking and going to parties and getting fucked up and getting wasted and shit like that? Like,
getting Jaeger bombs.
I don't understand the appeal of that. I mean, I drink like one beer at a time every now and then. You know, I haven't had a beer probably in a month. I have one maybe once a month, twice a month, something like that. I don't see the appeal in drinking so much to where you just lose your mind. I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, what's so fun about that?
I've never
It's
been
just-
drunk. I've never been drunk before myself. I think it's fucking idiotic. Like, yeah,
It is.
I'm gonna keep slamming down beers so I can act like a fucking jackass and look
And then
like I'm
pass out and have a
fucking
hangover the rest of the day tomorrow.
drunk. So,
Like, what's the
It's-
point, dude?
because they gotta look cool for the frat boys. Yeah, we can do cake stands and shit,
Well,
boys.
those frat boys are the ones that we're talking about then, being idiots, getting all this idea that it's cool or it's somehow, in some sort of way, desirable. I mean, I am a philosopher, you know, I love to have my wit about me, I love to be able to think clearly, but that ain't happening, I just cannot understand the concept of fun when you're drunk.
And the thing is, getting back even onto that point where you say like lust or experiencing lust for that age, I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe because I kind of had morals set in me. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't a fucking perfect child. I was far from it. But I'm saying I had these moral fibers in me that I was like, you know, I kind of want to wait till marriage and I want to wait till this and that. You know, I never saw the big draw of like, oh, like, I gotta sleep with bitches, I gotta sleep with tons of girls, like, I gotta do this. It's like, I believe if you're pressured into something, you are just mentally weak. That's my opinion. I know that might sound harsh, but I feel like you're just mentally weak if you get peer pressured into something. I feel as if you need to grow a set if you're a guy, and if you're a girl, you know, just get some backbone. You know what I'm saying? I feel as if you need to follow the crowd to feel accepted, I don't know. I was never that type of person to follow the crowd in that type of manner. It's like, oh well, you know, if everybody's drinking, I want to drink. I had a beer with my dad and he'll drink because he trusted me. I'm not gonna go be a fucking idiot when I'm in high school and like, oh yo guys, let's get Coors Lights and get wasted. I never saw that, and it's funny because on Facebook you see like these people and these girls from my high school like posting up beer pictures and stuff like, oh, we're drinking, we're so cool. No, like when I see that shit, that just makes me think you're fucking 12 and immature. It really does. If you gotta like post pictures and like you gotta like put status, oh, I'm drinking right now, having a party. Yeah, it's like seriously, grow the fuck up. You know, I feel as if you're in that mindset, you're just fucking immature, just straight up immature. And I know we can go on about this for days, but it's just like, you know, just this is why I feel as if there is like everybody just sleeps around now. They give in to their desires, man. I'll be honest with you, it's not like I haven't, you know, had lust and stuff like that. Yeah, I take a fucking cold shower. It's not hard. You just beat your meat. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be like joking here, but it's true. There's other ways you can do things. I know technically masturbation is a sin, but I'm just saying that there's other ways to relieve yourself or just to calm yourself down. I just, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel as if you need to sleep with fucking 4 or 5 girls at a party. So
for one of the things, I mean,
I'm doing good, dude. I'll be honest.
and you know this commentary is getting really long.
You were shooting a dead body. I don't know if
We'll go ahead and split this up or something, but yeah.
keep going.
All right, so
Alright, but
to go on to finish to continue what you were saying there, it's really easy for a guy to try to, you could say, just give in to himself, but you have to realize you're a guy, you're a man, you're supposed to be strong, you're supposed to be independent.
You're right.
So why the hell are you giving in to desires? You know, why can't you control yourself? Of all the things you think you are in control of, the last one is going to be yourself. And it should be really easy for us to just say, you know what, fuck that, I'm going to make a decision here, I'm going to be a man, and I'm going to take a cold shower, or something like that. You know, I'm going to fight this urge, I'm going to fight this problem with my brain, and I'm going to go do something else. It should be easy for us to do that. And that's when you realize, okay, why is it not easy? It's desire. Desire is strong, desire is loud, desire is selfish. And that's when you should realize that desire is controlling you. There is something out there, some voice that's speaking to you in your head, telling you what to want and what to get, and you are obeying. And I know I'm kind of getting philosophical here, but that voice is not you, and it's not the people in your life. That voice cannot be blamed on anybody else. It is just like a combatant, you know, it is your one antagonist. Everything in life has an antagonist. Everything is trying to kill something else. You know, for every good thing in nature, there is a bad side. There is a negative for every positive. There is a back to every front. And the back side is desire. The back side of life is desire. It eats away at your core, you know, and if you obey it, you're constantly flipping around. It's like you're chasing your tail. You know, you're not going to get anywhere. And even if you get it, congratulations, you just caught yourself. There's no gain to that. There's no honor. There's no purpose. There's no integrity. It's just selfish. It's selfish. It is thoughtless. It is, I guess you could say, a way of destroying hope, because when you indulge in yourself like that, in what you perceive to be great, it's ruined. Beauty is only real, and happiness is only real when it is shared. You know, true beauty cannot be maximized unless it is shared with somebody else, unless the experience is shared by the company of your vision. For example, if you're watching a sunset, you think, wow, this is beautiful. Well, what are you really thinking? Of how beautiful the sunset is, or of the person you wish was sitting next to you as you were watching it? It's always about other people. But when you indulge in your own desires, it's about you, and it leaves you feeling helpless. It leaves you feeling alone. It leaves you feeling depressed. It leaves you feeling pathetic, basically.
Incomplete as well, you'd have to say, maybe?
Incomplete, definitely. Definitely.
I think you just wrapped that up perfectly. I'm not gonna lie, that whole topic, you should be. I'm not even just saying this for shit. Have you thought about being a pastor? I know we're still doing commentary. I'm actually.
I actually have thought about it. I've really greatly considered it, but at the same time, I don't know, because my idea of Christianity is really radical. You know, I wouldn't be able to be ordained by any mainstream religion. For example, I would not be I would not be able to be Baptist or Lutheran or
Yeah,
Catholic.
they're on.
Definitely not Catholic.
Oh,
or anything
no.
like that. But yeah, I mean, I would have to start my own regular, plain Christian church, you know, non-denominational. And it's just when I went to a non-denominational church one time, and it was just kind of bland. It was sort of, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. I didn't really like it. But then again, I don't really like any church, you know. And I realized today, to get off topic, you know what? Let's go ahead and split the commentary here, guys. We'll be back in just a minute, so stick around.